everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of the Beach Court Podcast. Maddox Corcoran is back in Jacksonville, Florida. Duval represented 904 very well out in Anaheim, California. Got top 50
Wait, what was that?
at the World Championships. And
Top 45.
top 45, yes, top 45. But top 50 kind of sounds better.
Top 64
top
is what I would
64.
just
Top
say. 'Cause that's, like,
64.
we
Yeah.
actually, I mean, I guess there wasn't any championship points or prize money involved for top 64. So.
Yeah.
But I guess
But yeah,
he's got
got
a
top,
box, but
top
you know.
50 at Worlds, and he's back. So congratulations, Maddox. We'll run through what deck he chose to play. Surprise, it was Gholdengo. I think we knew that for a while if you've been paying attention to this podcast. Yeah, we'll jump everything about Worlds. We're gonna talk everything about Worlds. We're gonna talk about the ASIM cut at the tournament for Masters, or if you senior and junior finals. The spectacle that was Worlds. Are we an esport now? We'll have that discussion later. And then we'll talk about some top lists that didn't make cut, some funny Gholdengo text that we saw throughout the weekend, and just give our closing ceremony thoughts in general. So my name is Eric Ridgway. Of course, Maddox Corcoran is here. Parker Greenwell is joining us. We've got a big episode ready for you guys. But Parker, how was your week been? What have you been up to?
It was pretty good. I did work the whole weekend, but we ran a Magic RCQ, had a pretty good turnout. It was pretty fun actually, watching all the Magic stuff. We did have an issue during top 8, which resulted in a match loss. Basically, this guy is playing with his entire deck in Japanese, which you're allowed to do, but his entire deck's in Japanese, and he goes, one of the cards puts a 1/1 counter on when it attacks, basically, and I forgot like exactly the thing, but basically he asked the judge for Oracle text, which he pulled it up and was like, "This is what the card does," and like this guy is like a very long time like Magic player. So then like he thinks a little bit more, and he like turns to his friends who are watching the game, and he goes, "So do I get the 1/1 counter now?" And the judge was like, "All right, that's it. Like, that's a match loss basically because you're like seeking outside advice." Yeah.
Oh, yikes.
So that was like a 30-minute ordeal, but yeah, it ended up just match loss. But yeah, we had the World's tournament on Thursday. I got put out very sweetly. I beat Eric when he pulled a Piper Lapine.
I did.
And prized all his gimme ghouls except one.
That can never happen. That's such PTCGL luck. Would never happen.
Yeah, wow. Literally never could happen. But yeah, and then I
was just forecasting top 8 of Worlds.
You were, basically.
Why'd you have to do it, Eric? Why did you do Piper like that?
The prophecy foretold.
We could have had a world champion. We've already had Henry Brand on the pod, but we could have had another world champion on the pod.
Yeah. My week, I was at the same tournament Thursday, and I chose to play Gholdengo Typhlosion, a deck I've really been enjoying a lot because I expected to get him out of Gholdengo, and Typhlosion's just a good attacker. Hit 0 Gholdengos, prize 3 gimme goals versus Parker, and that was all she wrote for that one.
Wait, you could have attacked with a Typhlosion. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Piper wish.
Yeah.
She could have attacked with Typhlosion.
You don't think I didn't try, bro?
Were you playing Parker Grimmsnarl?
Yeah, I was on Grim. I wanted to play Guardy, but then like my friend needed to borrow a deck, and he's like, "Yo, let me play Guardy." I was like, "Okay, here you go." I was like, "I guess Grim sleeved up."
Yeah, my opening popping was for Cyndaquil.
2 Cyndaquils.
Surely optimal. Just like Piper buddy popping for Togepi and get 1 gimme goal. Because clearly was optimal.
But anyways, so I did that, and then all weekend, just kind of been doing some unpacking slowly but surely, getting the house ready. Had some friends over on Sunday, had an unpacking party while we watched Worlds also. So that was a good time. Got the garage sorted, ready for the draft next week. And yeah. But no one's here to hear about me and Parker and what we did in boring Jacksonville, Florida. Everyone's here about Maddox Corcoran and the top 50 at Worlds with Gholdengo. Hey, first off, congratulations, man. You worked hard for this. Mm-hmm. I know you really wanted this day too, and you focused on your health and wellness prep going into the tournament, and you're now sick when you got home, but you weren't sick when you were there. So at least those worked out for you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Just talk us through like your overall emotions and how you're feeling, now that you're back.
Yeah, I mean, for first off, great trip. I know again, it's tricky preparing for the World Championships when it's a new format. I tend not to like the new formats just because I think I do better as a player, and really just where my time is able to be spent. Like I can spend more time on seeing, hey, there's an established meta game, and then knowing like where I'm comfortable and knowing, okay, here, knowing the lines and knowing how to execute a plan type of thing, rather than like exploring a brand new format type of thing, just because I don't have as much time to spend on it. But again, when it came to time for Worlds, we knew that Gholdengo was going to be a pretty good deck, right? We knew it was already pretty good. It was kind of positioned to be better with the Genesect EX edition from Black Bolt, so I kind of very early kind of locked it on Genesect as a choice there, and then really just kind of committed to over the course of a couple months leading up to Worlds, saying, hey, I'm going to be you know getting as many games of Pokemon as I can with Gholdengo, but then also at the same time, I'm gonna be focusing on my health and my sleep and my wellness. And overall, I mean, I felt the effects of all of that kind of throughout the World's run. Um, I I realized just kind of in my prep, as I was taking like very diligent like game logs, that it's you don't play as many games of Pokemon as we think. Sometimes you would say, oh, I went to two locals and I played a little bit of live, right? So say that's your normal week basis, right? So maybe you play 5 round locals, maybe it's 4 round locals, but you played against a friend like before or after. So maybe at a locals, right, you're getting like 6 games in each local, and if you play like 2 hours alive or 4 hours alive in a week, it's like, okay, maybe each game is 20 minutes, so it's 3 games an hour, so you're playing like 6 hours alive, and that's 18 games plus your 6 from locals. So I mean, like when you do the numbers, it's like, okay, so if you're playing 6 hours of locals, if you're doing 2 locals a week plus 6 hours alive a week, that's like 24 games, which some people would even say, I don't have time to play all that. And other people would say
Right.
that's a lot of Pokemon, right? So when I started tracking it, I'd be a little more intentional about saying, oh, I really got to like dedicate some time to playing some extra games. But I think also, I knew that I was focusing on like my health and sleep and stuff too, and that I was comfortable saying like, hey, if I can go to the World Championships and like feel good and not be sick and feel well rested and feel well prepared, then I can like feel happy with that regardless of how my run goes. And it just so happens that I was able to go 5-1-2, make it into day 2, and then go 2-1 in day 2 in order to finish with top 64 placement. I think a lot of that, was from some comfort with the deck, some comfort with some matchups. Definitely a little lucky along the way, right? I mean, some things needed to go my way, of course, as they always do.
Yeah.
But I think ultimately, playing well and taking all my available options to put myself in that situation. And also, feeling good while doing it. I wasn't, tired heading into the event. I was well rested. Some comfort of going to Worlds before means that I wasn't super stressed in the early morning. I kind of had a plan for the morning. I'm going to wake up. I'm going to do my, morning puzzles, get the brain going, get a healthy breakfast, shower. Like I was still in the hotel room at 9 o'clock when the opening ceremony started. I'm like, well, I don't need to play until 9:20. So like, why, why be over there early stressing? Walked in 9:10, watched the end of opening ceremony, was in my seat for 9:25 when I needed to play. So it all worked out.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, it's funny how you said you weren't there for opening ceremonies, because like a lot of people be like, "What? Or what do you mean you weren't there for opening ceremonies?" Right? Like, but I get it, So like,
Well, to be fair, I mean, I was like, I had it like literally, I'm like washing up in the bathroom and I have it on my phone
okay,
as I'm
all right,
finishing
cool. I
getting
was gonna
ready.
ask, like, did you watch it
Like
all?
listening to
'Cause,
the
like,
music and like, and like when I got there, met up with my sister and like was able to like watch the rest of it there. But in the morning, like I knew that my focus was not on rushing to the venue or being there artificially early, or I mean, I don't honestly, shout out all the other Worlds competitors, but I don't understand anyone like I knew the pairing since like 8:30. And then we were gonna play
sheesh.
till 9:30. So like I can't, all the folks sitting in their seat like
Sitting
since
for an
8:45 for
hour.
all of opening ceremony. I'm like I would never do that. Like never on my life be sitting that long there. I'm like, I'm just gonna get like nervous, like wait till opening ceremony was done. I'm like, I still did my music, took a little lap around. Like, I mean, like taking my time getting
All right,
ready. It's
so it's 8:30, right? It's
uh
8:30. The pairings go up. You get paired against Ray Shin, and you probably know like immediately you've hit Toad Scroll.
oh yeah. I'm like, all right, well, like 99% chance I'm playing against Toadstool.
Wow, what emotions? Like, walk us through your emotions and what you're feeling.
Well, so I knew that, like, again, they play the Slime Mold Colony Toadscroll.
Yep.
So I know that Ray Chen is a very talented, right? Well, sorry, the pinnacle Toadscroll player. Not
Sure.
just like, oh, she's very good. Obviously, she's very good, but like the definitive Toadscroll player. But I knew that I played the Scizor, so I knew that that would be a good attacker in the matchup. And I knew that, I could try to anticipate the Toadscroll and just try to play around that. Eventually, I won game 1. Game 2, my Scyther was prized, so I was never able to really pressure with that. And in game 3, I made a little mistake that made it a little tougher for me to close out the game. But ultimately came down to like in turns, Ray being able to pull off like the Mew restart for 3 into Fez, draw for 3, and then hit me with the Idol 1, and it wasn't able to find boss plus the energy. I really just couldn't find the boss, so I think it was my last boss in deck that had just gone Iona, so I'd like shuffle and like really draw. So missed it there, but I had some other good draws throughout the tournament that I'm fine with how it ended up. And again, tying against a good opponent in a tricky matchup. One that I'm just certainly underprepared for. Compared to how Ray was. So felt fine with a tie there. I mean, and like I say, felt fine with a tie there. Felt fine in hindsight. You never like to start with a tie.
Sure.
I guess my hindsight was like, well, at least if I'm having an early tie, then I'm maybe avoiding like other Gholdengos because I'm not very well prepared for the mirror because I don't have the techs. Or I'm avoiding like Raging Bull, so I'm going to hit more of the slower decks by like Dragapult or Gardevoir or Grimmsnarl. So of course at 001 I hit Grant Manley playing Gholdengo, regardless of all that. So I'm like, oh come on. So
but that's okay because Grant Manley is the unluckiest player in the history of Pokemon trading card game. And he is what 0-4 against the Beach Court podcast now.
I mean I've tied against him before, so he does have a tie in there.
0-3-1.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean I played Grant last year at Worlds.
Parker, what?
I'm 1-0 against him.
Yeah, and I'm 1-0 against him. And Parker, Maddox, are you 2-0-1?
I'm 2-0-1 against him.
Okay,
yeah.
So we are 4-0-1. He's 0-4-1 against us, and that's actually better than his world's record that he finished at 0-3.
Well, what's with all the Grant Manley hate?
Dang,
I'm
the?
Whoa! I love him. He knows I love him. He knows I love him.
Whoa!
No, but to be fair, like we joke about the Grant Manley luck. Like I had no business winning that third game because I like missed my Iono. I go into with Scizor and I'm like, all right, like what's my win con? Hope he misses. He's like, draw. Like he has the boss in hand. He said, I ciphered it turns ago. Of his bottom 4 cards in deck, 2 of them are SERs. So you just needed one of them to win the game.
Unluckiest player ever.
So then he missed that, and then next time I'm just gonna go like boss KO after he pushes a single prizer. So, yeah, definitely very. Yeah, I mean, like I like definitely. I feel like I got away with one there. But I mean, sometimes that's what has to happen. I don't know. I am rooting for Grant for a good Worlds run because we know he's an incredible player. He's gonna break through the bad luck streak.
He'll get one. He'll get one.
So.
Oh yeah, Parker, you got any questions so far?
No. I mean, like, do you feel like under or over prepared for the event? Because like I know like your main focus more so than like the deck and stuff was like your health and everything. Because if that's good, your brain's good, then your run's good.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely felt like I don't know. I don't know how often people feel over prepared for events. I mean, I think you have to play an absurd amount and like to feel very comfortable for that. I think it's really just the comparison factor of just saying like, me going to sleep on Thursday night saying, hey, I don't have as many reps into this matchup as I would like. That's kind of the thought that I had some on Thursday night. On Thursday afternoon, I was playing some practice games against Chris and Ryan, and just a shout out a couple of them for some of the test games. And honestly, like, I mean, to be fair, I was putting myself in tough matchups intentionally, but I mean, I was having a rough time in those like test games. Probably, maybe played like 10 games, went like 2-8 into the games type of thing, like not very good at all. So like with that, it's like, I mean, and literally, I think, needed a little bit of time to like recenter. So I was kind of upset with like how the test games went. But then just kind of focus like, well, hey, I was like, hey, I know how these matchups go. I'm getting some reps and I'm getting some games over the table, which felt good. I actually went and did a workout, literally just kind of like, let off some steam, be like, all right, let me pick up some heavy things and put them back
2-8. I'm about to go bench press some stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, but like, but just to kind of like recenter and be like, hey, I'm here at Worlds, like lucky to be here. I'm focused on my health. Like, I've been eating well throughout the day. I like a good, like, sleep plan where I'm like, all right, 9:30, take my melatonin, going to bed, got like 8.5 hours of sleep, like Thursday and Friday night. Like, I cannot say the same for like any of my previous regionals, basically, like in the past. I honestly, maybe never even for any previous event I've competed at ever, type of thing. So I mean, and I think I'm settling back in and saying like, hey, hey, I'm here for a reason. I know that I can perform. I know that I can do well. And when it comes down to it, I need to execute and play my game. And I think ultimately, despite how the games went, despite, maybe saying, hey, I spent more time on my health than on Pokemon, I think this felt very validating for me. That says, hey, both can be true. I can both live a healthy lifestyle and, do well at Pokemon.
That's right.
And if I can do that, then I think we're living the good life.
Yeah, so looking at the rest of your run, the next round you hit Pedro Patusi, ended up in a tie in the Gardevoir matchup. Can take a little bit longer, but really, after this round, you're 102, and you're undefeated. But at this moment in time, with the tie, you really can't lose anymore. So like, what's your thought process? Like, were you frustrated? How are you feeling after that like round 3 tie?
Yeah, I mean, again, hit Pedro Petrucci, yeah, and right. I mean, I think also the biggest thing too is right. Very rarely, you never really have a free tournament run, especially not at Worlds. But also, like, 3 rounds hitting like Great Chen, Great Manly, Pedro Petrucci. I'm like, come on, give me a break. Like, can't I get someone who I don't know immediately? Like, once I get paired into them. Um, but like but again, was in a spot where I'm like, okay, again, have the tie and like wasn't a huge fan of the tie. Like it was, I'm just kind of looking at my notes from like the game itself. Like won a long game one, probably like, 30, 35-minute game one. He played the Jellicent, so like that kind of slowed things down, but then was able to like, you know, pick things back up. So it's one of those spots where like, okay, there's 15 minutes left. And I think my start might have not even been like, I think I didn't even have like a gimme to open. So part of me, so then, and then it's the weird spot, which I don't really like with the system of saying, okay, well, like, should I be scooping this game immediately to go to the next game and like say that I can go win a game in 13 minutes? Or like the game might not even finish anyways because I have to play against the Jellicent. If he goes like a slower path and just kind of starts like spamming Frillish and Jellicent, then like maybe I can't even come back and like win it anyways. So I kind of opted to just play it out. But I mean, it's still a pretty close game. Ultimately ended up losing game 2 in turns. After I missed like the 3 prize turn on Drifloon plus Guardy by just 1 card. So felt a little bit like, okay, I was evaluating a little bit like, okay, did I do that incorrectly, or is that fine? That's just a risk. 102 like is never a great way to start, but I think I knew that like, okay, at least I'm in the 0-2. Like if I hit some of the good matchups I've been kind of waiting for, hit more Guardies, hit more Dragapult, hit more Grimmsnarl, should be okay. And I think really just here, just making sure I prioritize. Oh, I need to make sure I go and finish the set, and then I'm playing for these rest of the games to avoid another tie. I mean, another tie isn't the worst thing at 102 because then it throws you back into the tie if I go like 404. But like, really didn't want to do that. I was like, let me try to keep winning from here.
404, Maddox, in this industry.
Yeah, with Gholdengo would be kind of criminal, but you gotta do what you gotta do to stay in it. I had a Grimmsnarl next, so then was a little bit like, okay, at least I'm hitting, more of the matchups in the tie bracket that I wanted to. I won the set in game 3. I never played my picnic basket once, which is very annoying because like the whole reason I'm playing it is for this matchup. Just couldn't ever find it in a spot or like always need to grab something else type of thing.
I feel like a lot of time in that matchup, like the turn you need it is the turn you probably get item locked.
Yeah, I mean, like they weren't doing too much item lock. I think I could just never find it when I needed it. And also we played a 3/3 Frostlass, so I went like boss KO the Frostlass,
Ooh.
and then he went like like
Poffin
TME,
for
he went like Poffin, TME boned it again. I'm like, come on, like I just got rid of it. So I think that was the game I lost when he was able to kind of like keep chaining the Frostlass and did a little better in the other ones.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I mean the toughest part was definitely round 5 when I hit the Flareon box. So I literally got donked game 1, literally went like Monkey Dory pass. And then he just in hand was like, oh yeah, I just have it. Is Terra, open the boosted evolution Eevee in the active, Terra Orb Crispin, just like turn 1 Flareon. And he's like, oh, this is the only game I've even pulled off a turn 1 Flareon. I'm like, well, at least it's the game where I literally had nothing.
God,
it was like,
bro.
I mean, like, and I mean that was
wait,
literally like,
wait. Did he know you were playing Gholdengo at that point?
Actually, I don't even know. Probably not.
I'm just curious.
Actually, no. I think we each mulliganed. So I think we each knew
Okay.
what we were playing.
Okay.
But yeah, but literally, I mean, at least literally there, I was like,
Because
okay, well, at
sometimes
least
that's a blessing, when that happens.
yeah. I mean, I was just happy that was a game I bricked, because say I even go like, oh, double buddy puff and get the whole board going, like I still just lose. So at least I lose quicker. Game 2, I was able to like actually like execute the plan and just he went like KO. He went like one prize KO, and I was able to like 2-2-2. I think I was able to pull off like Iono and like Scizor to like avoid the Briar turn type of thing, which was nice.
Did the rigid band come up?
So rigid band would have mattered in game 3, but it was prize.
Oh no!
So rigid band. A couple people ask me, was the rigid band helpful? No, not at all.
L
Well, it is
card.
helpful. Well, it is helpful. You just didn't hit Zard and other things,
exactly.
right?
Yeah.
Like,
And I think I used it to prevent a 30 damage snipe that was relevant in the Grimstar matchup as well. I think that was maybe the only other spot where it really came up.
oh,
the tournament,
sheesh, you
so-
can do it in Grimstar. Oh.
Yeah, and don't even know. You don't even
I
know.
didn't think about that application actually. That's why you practice the deck. See, that's why
Exactly. But anyway, so far as being 2-1-2 and being like, oh shoot, okay, I gotta win 3 in a row. I know I can do that, but
So wait, hold on.
it's
Let's
gonna
pause
be
real quick.
tough.
For those
Yeah.
that don't know, because we didn't fully explain it, the rigid band application, the most important use for rigid band is what?
So with rigid band, you can Flareon's burning charge, which powers up the benched Flareon, hits for 130. So then they're able to use that and take a 1-shot on your Gholdengo plus power up the next Eevee. So if you have that attached, then they have to use Carnelian, which is the second attack, to hit 280 and KO your Gholdengo. So it limits their energy a little bit, but the primary application is for against Chi-Yu, where they're trying to hit their not burning jealousy.
Sure.
Burning fire of envy or something
Fire
like that.
of Envy, whatever.
Fire of
yeah,
envy.
Fire,
To
whatever.
hit 140 if a Pokemon was knocked out last year. 140 times 2 is 280, but yeah, the rigid band they're only hitting 250. So really just for those fire matchups to decrease damage a little bit. But then also like against a Grimmsnarl, they can't 30 snipe a Gholdengo, spread some damage because you take 30 less, and 30 minus 30 is 0.
All right, cool.
Free
There we go.
Gholdengo's coaching.
Just want to make sure people knew
probably
what it was
shouldn't
for.
play.
Well, because not many people did play it, right? So just making
Yeah,
sure
sure,
everyone
sure.
understands what that application is.
Exactly. So, let's see. So I'm in a spot where I'm gonna win 3-0 to close things out, which is never a spot I want to be. But I've done it before, so I'm like, all right, let's just do it again. Finally hit a Poltnor, which is a matchup that's kind of notoriously close. They actually played on Fair Stamp, so once I realized they played on Fair Stamp, then the game plan changes a little bit. It says, okay, I can chase down the energy a little more aggressively. Makes it harder for them to, follow up and like kind of get a Dragon Ball out of nowhere, since it's very much telegraphed. They go and hit me with a stamp. I draw out of it because I'm Gholdengo. And then they, if they have a Luminous on it or Cloak, and that's it, I'm like, boss KO the Dracloak, and then they can't really do too much that next turn. So I was able to have a quick 2-0 there. You very rarely have like easy games at Worlds, but this one felt like, I think just because I was able to be aggressive enough, because they're a little slower build with the Unfair Stamp and Arbin, I felt very much like, okay, like this one I was fast enough and could deal with. Round 7, I hit Isaiah Chevelle.
A friend of yours.
A friend, buddy of mine. The original creator of that like for alligator reversal deck that I love so much. So he was playing Gholdengo as well. He had a couple like kind of bad variance moments to get him there. He was playing Gholdengo, but he played a Dusknoir line to kind of help exchange the 1 prizes. So, and in this matchup, his ideal is he can go, take a single prize KO and Dusknoir on the same turn, or save the Dusknoir for later, to basically catch up on that prize. So kind of similar to other philosophies that Dusknoir decks have played in the past, saying, hey, I can use it to catch up on the prizes later. Since giving up the 1 prize, if you're able to be aggressive and go first, is kind of inconsequential. So, I win game 1. He's not really able to get set up. He wins game 2. I'm not really able to get set up. Game 3, I don't have any mirror techs, right? I have Scizor. Iono is kind of like a potential scam win con. So I don't really have any better options because he was getting the board built up. So I just kind of go in with, KO with a Gholdengo EX. Turn 2, like, hope you don't have it. And he missed the counter catcher in order to kind of get the K. Actually, I went KO to, actually, I think I just want to take a single prize with the Scizor. KO is Duskull with the Scizor. So, and at that point, he missed the counter catcher to be able to get a KO on my Genesect to kind of bring things back. So, unfortunate miss there, but it was like, all right, but got the win there, in a close one against a good friend, and then hit the winning in, which then was a Gardevoir in round 8. So, his opponent's first Worlds, so he was like very happy to be there. He was kind of saying, "Hey, I've been on vacation in Cali, like he's kind of been enjoying living life." So, but he was having a great
Heck
run too.
yeah.
So, even though he was like here on vacation, but again, he was locked in having a good run. So I'm like, all right, had Flutter and Devo stuff and was able to kind of pull off those shenanigans. So
Yeah.
game 1, I was able to like go rolling pretty early, put on a lot of pressure. Um, Game 2, he was able to like set up some good plays like Flutter and Devo and able to like kind of slow Mao down my board a good bit. Plus stick me with an Iono. And then, kind of on the pivotal turn at the end where I needed to hit, the boss KO on Gardevoir. Iono 2 in the boss. Energy Search Pro, which I had just taken off the prizes. Was, at the bottom of the deck from the Iono, able to shuffle the deck. Coin bonus for 2 right into the superior Energy Search Pro. So I was able to pull that and to get the combo to get the game. So and that got me to day 2. I mean that moment, that feeling of like seeing the Energy Search Pro like off the draw and be like, oh shoot, I'm winning this game. I'm going to day 2 of Worlds. I mean, definitely just like a lot of emotion and feeling there. And also, I didn't mention this earlier, but I have some family that lives in Southern California. So my aunt and uncle live there, but then also my sister and my mom were able to, attend as spectators at the World Championship. So throughout the day, they're helping me out, hooking me up with the healthy snacks, and continue the health journey. So as opposed to having to go get the convention center hot dog, it's like, oh hey, here's chicken avocado salad, and like, here's some nuts, here's the healthy dark chocolate. So like, they're hooking me up with all the good stuff. So and my table was like right near one of the edges. So like, my family was able to watch that. Got some pictures there, and literally just like remember like, getting the matchup signed, just kind of running over to the family, giving them a hug. And I mean, and just crying a little bit, just being like that was hard. It's tough to come to Worlds. I mean, put in the work all season, to play, 3 elimination games after, after a tough loss, after like, you had some ties, like have some weird things going your way. Tough matchups, where nothing is for granted. And just be like, okay, whew, like we got there. Like, and I've been chasing the day 2 Worlds, I'd reached 5 wins every World so far, and I reached 5 wins again here, but it was 5-1-2, so just good enough to make it the next day. And then had another. I mean, and again, I think that just that excitement and enthusiasm just like carried me into the next day, where took the early loss and was able to win the last 2. Put myself a good record and have a top 64 Worlds to my name that I'm very proud of and very happy with, and honestly, just like unbelievable, just like great to be here, great to be enjoying Pokemon like this.
Yeah, I mean, you were definitely like, I could tell that you were in shock because, like, there's at this moment where I was like, "Excuse me, Richard and Chris, why are you guys not at his table, step by step, giving me like breakdown updates from like what's happening on this match? Because like I need these updates. Like if I was there and for some
Oh
reason
yeah.
not competing, I would have been like on the podcast Twitter page, like you were back in Japan. It's just like
Yeah.
step by step. So I saw you kind of like look over at Richard's camera and be like,
I don't even remember that. I'd be curious to go watch back the VOD later. I just remember realizing seeing like Ricky recording, and then like my family there, but then also like my opponent's family was there too. So it was kind of like there was kind of like a lot going on.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, opponent is a real cool guy. I'm sorry, I'm blanking on his name.
Attila Gadek.
Yeah, Attila. Yeah. I mean, and we chat on Twitter a little bit afterwards. So shout out to Attila on like a great run, and getting 2 Worlds, competing and doing well. And I mean, honestly, just like he was a great opponent. I mean, things were good. It's nice to have like a good opponent in a stressful match.
Sure, it
When it's just
absolutely
like the
is,
winning
yeah.
in opportunity. It was a cool opponent, and even afterwards, he was kind of talking, saying, "Oh, hey, actually, if I had done like this and this play, then maybe I could have avoided like this lose con." Like, so we had a couple like conversations throughout that like afterwards type of thing. So. Again, I think it was like cutting himself a little bit short because he's like, oh yeah, I'm here my first Worlds,
Sure,
just
sure.
hang out in California, but like, dude was locked in, like, dude was having a great run. And right after, he lost, is like, oh, if I could have done this with the monkey, then like maybe could have, required you to get an extra energy and like stuff like that. So we kind of had some of those good conversations, which is like, again, cool. And I mean, and that's why like whether I'm in it or not, like I always tell myself like I'm always gonna be playing out every round at the World Championships unless I like truly feel awful. Just because like it's such a treat to be able to play against like this high level talent and like
For sure.
all these great competitors. So it was great to be playing well in contention though. So we'll take it.
Yeah. Parker, what kind of questions you got for him?
So at the end of the day, were you happy with what you played? And then like did your run reflect what you thought the meta was gonna be?
Yeah, I mean, did my run reflect the meta? I'm just looking back. I mean, I played 4 Gholdengos, 3 Guardies, 1 Polt, 1 Grim, 1 Flare, and 1 Toad Scroll. That's not really meta. I mean, I guess I got lucky I didn't hit any bolts.
Any bolts, yeah, you did any bolts.
You know, that was a matchup I was definitely a little bit concerned about. You know, I'd like to have hit more Dragapults probably. I had no business going 3-1 against Gholdengo, to be honest. Right? We're talking about, am I happy with what I played? Like, I think my list was fine. I think looking back, it was over-teched. I know that there was a few things we were worried about. I know that, you know, again, I'm part of Thor's Kitchen, so he was kind of weighing in on some of those pieces. You know, he was a big believer in the rigid band, which I think was maybe fine to have in case I hit the fire decks to give me a little bit of a better chance into them, as opposed to just kind of like taking a straight up loss. So I think while it wasn't really necessary, that didn't really pan out. And I think I didn't really have a good enough like game plan into the mirror. You know, I was able to use Scizor and Iona to like scam a little bit, but I think ultimately I just kind of better capitalize on like going in and swinging and saying, okay, you know, I have a better board position or kind of forcing you to miss, or I can go hit you with a Scizor or Iona later that you're not really expecting. Honestly, the only Gholdengo matchup that I didn't go in and aggressively enough on was probably against Daniel Magda, who doesn't play the eSearch Pro. So if that was a spot where I was able to go first and, you know, prevent him from
Was it
going Fan
box?
Rotom KO. Yeah, he was playing box.
Yeah.
Right, and if I could prevent him from using his Fan Rotom to get a turn 1 KO, if I just go in and start swinging with a Gholdengo, then he's probably a little bit hard pressed to respond, and maybe even from there, I'm able to go and just get ahead and stay ahead. So had a close 3-game set against him. That's kind of one I wish I had back. I'm just saying, like, I've had a little more time to think about in the matchup. Maybe here's a better way to approach it. But obviously Daniel Magda, incredible player. You know, we've talked about you know, his success playing times on this podcast. So you know, so I had a chance to play against him, and obviously, you know, skilled at what he does, and you know, had a good run. Ended up 7-2-2 as well. I think lost his last round, or lost the one right after mine.
Yeah. So speaking of like being over teched and stuff, were there any techs that you think you missed out on, like the single prize Dango, or like I saw someone had
Chansey.
someone had
I mean the Chansey, probably like the Togekiss or this Piper play was probably like, I mean, the best answer for like the mirror and like for the single prize stuff, and you can just helps out across the board. I mean, was I happy with what I played? I was definitely happy that I played Dengo. You know, we know it's gonna be a good deck. It was something I was comfortable with, and I feel no problems playing. Hey, here's the deck. You know, you're comfortable with the deck that's well positioned for the meta. You know, you can't go wrong with that. You know, any techs. I mean, I think I would have been better having an answer for the mirror. You know, I think the Fan Rotom. It's something I like thought about for a second. I was like, do you ever just play like an efficient single prize attacker?
Yeah.
Of course, Daniel played it with the secret box, being able to very consistently go and get the Artisan or your Levincia to go and get just to be able to go and get your stadium. He actually played a couple accounts of Petrol as well to just have more ways to find the secret box.
Did he play Latios?
No, you don't need to play Latios for.
Well, I just meant like if you wanted to like get into the Fan Rotom aggressively.
You just play. I mean, you use a secret box to find your air balloon.
Air balloon. Yeah, that's fair. Yep.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's actually makes sense. Yeah.
Yes, I mean, like that combo package, being able to pull out your stadium plus your attacker plus your retreat, like, you know, works pretty well. And so he was able to pull it off pretty consistently in our games. So I think the only tech I missed was really just like a better like mirror answer. I think I definitely just kind of like high rolled a little bit my way through. You know, where if we were to run this tournament again, I'm not sure if I would like be as fortunate against the baby Dangos, things like that. So
Yeah.
the Scizor was good. I think I like, it's hard to say any other techs. I mean, again, if I knew I was going to play this exact same run, I would cut the rigid band for sure, and would definitely play probably like more metal energy and maybe even the baby Dango type of thing.
Did you play 4 boss?
I played 3.
Okay. How'd that feel? Did you want 4?
I mean, there's probably. I mean, I'm sure there's a few spots like throughout games when like maybe at the end of the game digging for a boss and couldn't quite find it or couldn't find it as easily, or it never hurts to have more. But I mean, kind of a calculated piece. I mean, really, you need the boss for like the Iono matchups where they're disrupting you, and the things like the Dango Mirror. You can just kind of hold your hand the whole time. So, and they weren't playing. No, like no one else that I played against was playing a Scizor or any other like efficient one prize attacker. So they kind of, in those matchups they would never disrupt me. I just have like 3 boss in hand and like, all right, well I got nothing to do with these basically.
But yeah, I mean, I like. Next question is, when were you most nervous? Like round 1, round 8, round 9, round 11. Like, when did you like feel like you were like most nervous?
Most nervous, I mean, probably round 8. And actually, I'm checking my phone because I was able to track. I wear a Fitbit, so I was able to like track my heart rate. It was actually just very funny to see like my heart rate just like spiking constant, like literally spiking like at 8 separate instances at the start of every round. So like per my heart rate, I'm the most nervous like at the start of the event. I think it's like all the nerves of the event getting there.
Yeah.
So that's what the metrics say. But like time that I felt like most nervous, like in an individual moment, would have probably been in round 8, just like on the winning end, saying, okay, hey, hey, I want to get this game 2 win. I don't have to go to a game 3. Don't want to leave anything to chance there. Just want to execute here. So I think definitely the nervousness there of round 8, and then the next day, obviously, wanted to win, wanted to go 3-0, have a chance to push a cut, which turns out would have been that ASIM cut.
It wouldn't have been. No, it wouldn't have been.
Was it 26?
No, 27. Because tables, that's 3 of the top.
No,
tables,
it was 20. No,
It was 26.
It was
Oh, was it?
26.
I
No,
thought
it
3
was.
of the
Yeah.
top tables didn't. Oh, right, it did. There was
It was 26. Yeah.
there was the one natural tie on stream. That's right.
Exactly.
That's right,
Yeah.
that's right.
So,
Yeah.
so like, of course, in hindsight, being able to say, okay, if I had won one more, then it would have made ASIM and could have fought for that. Oh, if I had, tied one more, then I could have maybe bubbled into top 32. Or I mean, like, there's some of those things, but I think ultimately, like in terms of like nerves, it was really just like round 1 and round 8. I feel like I gotta like get into the event a little bit, kind of get past the nerves. I think also like being able to get, I think the thing I always worry about a little bit is a little bit of imposter syndrome. Like you never want to show up to Worlds and like not win anything. Then it's like, oh, well, why are you even doing that, right? I mean, like I don't know if anyone's really saying that, but sometimes I feel that. So even just getting like the first win, it's like, all right, we got to win. I can say I've gone to Worlds, we got to win. I remember, even in Japan, I think I won round 1. I was like, all right, I can say I've won a game of Pokemon at the World Championships. Like, got that off my back.
That world pissed me off so much, man. Hit 2 CrossFit routinas to start the day, and then win 5 in a row, and then hit another CrossFit routine. And I'm like, are you kidding me, bro?
Could have played Mew.
Anyways, Parker, any other questions before we get to like the tournament stuff, like Pokemon Center and all those things?
Yeah, speaking of Pokemon Center, how was it? I've seen like some horror stories and stuff on Twitter. How was it? Was it
Yeah, I mean,
was
it
it
was
as
good.
bad as it says?
No, I mean, like I think like I mean, Pokemon Center like wasn't. I mean, like it's. I don't know. Is it bad to say that I'm used to the mayhem? I have to like prepare for the mayhem.
That is bad. Yes, that's
I
bad.
mean, yeah. I mean, right. I
Because
think
if you're preparing it, why is Pokemon not preparing for it?
right. I mean, actually, I think the biggest benefit was that they actually did the center appointment starting on Wednesday, which I didn't even know. Like, I'd like booked my flights to get in on Wednesday, and once the reservation times went up, then I saw there was like a Wednesday time, so I was like, oh shoot, I can go like right after I land. So I got the Wednesday at 2 slot, which is good because it's like first one. But I mean, things were pandemonium then of just giant lines, people not in the right reservation time, people rushing for things, people immediately trying to scalp the jukeboxes and trying to Gyarados figures just from to put them out on Sunday, and like I mean like things
Oh,
are
is that
messy
what
there.
happened? They put more out Sunday?
They did, yeah. So, but some people saw it, people didn't want it. Like people were registered for it, not knowing what it was, said I want to buy it, and then people bought it and then tried to sell it. But then some people saw it and said, I don't know if I'm gonna get this home, and I just
I don't want to take this
with it.
home. It's too big.
Yeah, exactly. Now I think the moment that I knew that I was like, oh, I'm maybe too used to this, is that my sister had an appointment for like Thursday, like 3:30, and she was like, oh yeah. So I was like, yeah, I'll run the center at 3:30, and she's like, oh, and then we were kind of talking, and she had like a board meeting for an org that she's part of at like 4:30. She's like, oh well, I'll just do the center at 3:30 and then be back at the hotel to do my board.
Yeah,
meeting.
nah.
I'm like, I'm like, oh no, she has no idea.
She doesn't
So I go in
know.
there. So I'm there with her. So we go in and we're in one of the holding cells, the holding like roped off areas while they're waiting for people to get in. And so we're like the 3:30 group, right? So meanwhile, like there's 4 of the groups and like the 2:15 group is still here. I'm like, it's 3:30 and the 2:15 group's still here. Like we're cooked. Like it's not happening. So eventually left, got her into like a morning one later on to actually get some of the stuff. But I don't know, lots of cool merch at the Pokemon Center, but it's always like so unfortunate that there is such high demand for it, and that if you're not there like early, then like you can't get your right size, right? I didn't get one of the Toad Scroll crew necks that I was interested in, and went in on Sunday and didn't even have any sizes smaller than extra large, so I got like the one extra large left, and I'm like, okay, well, I want to like try to trade it for the right size, but then like if no one wants to trade for it, then like, well, now I gotta sell it and be part of the problem just so I can like buy the upcharged medium one, right? Or like so. I mean, I just wish it wasn't like that. I do think they handled some of it better than previously, like the ETBs and just saying, hey, they have the voucher system, the raffle system for some of the exclusive items. So I think that was like fair and to do and made it a little bit easier. And they got pretty good like on the on the later days of saying like, hey, they're checking your bag. This is one per, removing items out, like pre-clearing them of the limited items. So I think did a better job of that. The Arcanine stuff was under high demand, so they eventually moved all that to like a window. It says you can come here in line and pick it up one at a time type of thing, as opposed to just storming the one corner of the
I think it's
store.
what's gonna have to end up being is either like everything is lotto system, like like it's like a
Yeah.
virtual store where like you just do a
Hmm.
lottery and then like they'll tell you what you check out, quote unquote. Like they like outside they could just have a display, right, with all the stuff like in cases with security guards. And then it's like, okay, you walk up to the thing, you order what you want, or you order on your phone, and then 2 days later the lottery processes you come pick up your order. I don't know, like, cause like something's got to change. I mean, to the point where Azul is in there, like on his podcast, saying like, "I'm probably never going to the Pokemon Center area pop up again." Like,
Now, one good little piece of progress is that for Pokemon XP, which they announced, I know we're going to talk about
Right.
closing ceremony stuff
Yeah.
later, but for future ones,
it'll be
Pokemon
gone.
Center access is limited to only 2 attendees. So before general public could go to the pop-ups, because anyone could sign up for the pop-ups, you didn't need a badge. Now you'll need a badge to go. So I think that'll limit some of the like outside scalping potentially. It doesn't stop the
They'll still pay
attendee
the
scalping though.
$150 thing, Pidgey price or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe, but like, I mean, removing barriers to entry, I
Sure,
think
sure,
makes it.
sure. I mean,
Or sorry,
$150 to go make $1,000 off of scalping, still a plus. Anyways, other tournament stuff. What'd you think about opening ceremony? I mean, this is kind of for both of you. I really liked it. Like, it was so sick how like Anna like jumped in and was singing in the in the like the rock one. The rock one I loved way better than the rap one, by the way. That's just because of my genre of music and taste. But like they're both really good, and the way she just transitioned from like being a singer in that song to like being the host of
Welcome to
like
the
Worlds, like that was so good.
yeah, I mean, I remember seeing some like the core, like some of the Twitter buzz that like she was doing one of the opening numbers. It was cool to have like Nate Wants to Battle there as well, doing it live. So, but I mean, yeah, I mean, I think cool moment for like, hey, been a long time judge or been a long time like host, and now like part of the opening ceremony act type of thing. So, again, I was like walking in the venue when I was happening, but like Parker, Eric, what else did you see?
So I was watching on from Eric's stream. I had to like go to work or something, like unfortunately. So I watched the songs, then I watched her start hosting, and then I watched like oh no, I did watch like
You
most of
watched
the
a couple
opening
of
ceremony.
rounds. No, you
Yeah,
watched a
yeah, I
couple of
did watch a
rounds.
couple of rounds. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know, dang my memory. But it was
Working too
cool.
much,
I
bro.
was I was like I was like, is that Anna? Like, and then I remember like that Pokemon put out like an album, and I was like, no, I think she has like she's featured on a song in the album.
And she was.
So I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's
That
pretty
was
sick what they're doing these days, with the tournament. We'll talk more about that at closing. Let's move on. So last question for you, Max, before we move on to our next segment. Did you get to try Pokemon Legends EA on Sunday? You said you got a spot and that
Yeah, I
you were
did,
gonna go try
yeah.
the game. First thoughts, because I'm excited for it. I mean, how do you feel?
Yeah, it's funny. Like, I actually like totally forgot in the moment until it's like 11:03. I'm in a coffee shop with my family, being like, "Oh wait, I have a demo right now." So like, run back to the hall. It turns out it was like 11 to 12 window. But did get to actually try out Legends EA. And again, cool. I mean, you know, we were in pretty controlled areas. We got to go into one of the battle zones. You know, competing our starter Pokemon. We had a Chikorita against kind of the other trainer Pokemon in the area, and we had a chance to challenge a powerful trainer who had a level 18 Pidgeotto. And I have to say that the level 18 Pidgeotto soloed my entire team. So
It destroyed you.
oh yeah. I mean, I had like, you know, a level 9
5.
Chikorita,
Yeah.
like a level 5 Weedle, like a level 7 Mareep, like it was no chance. Um, but it was fun. I mean, it was cool to see, like, you know, and it was very like real time, and a lot more real time than I remember from like Legends Arceus, you know,
Mhm.
where it was like, you know, more the catching and battling. You know, and we pick like the slow moves, the fast moves, but here it was very much like real time where I'm like, okay, target this Pokemon and then like choose which of the 4 moves I'm using from the ABXY to like, you know,
You had
choose
to
any
react pretty quick,
and each
huh?
of the moves had cooldowns, things like that. Um, and so that was like in just the battling section. But you know, when it's battling a Pidgey or whatever, it's not really a big deal. But on the second portion, we had to go and chase down a rogue Mega Evolution. One of the rogue Mega Evolutions I was battling. So I had a Mega Lucario to help me out against a Mega Absol. Again, you know, the whole just that, you know, they're Mega evolving rogue in the wild. And we're, you know, going and trying to attack us there. But again, this was a little bit back to some of the the Legends Arceus of like the boss. I forget the exact terminology, but like, you know, the boss Pokemon. Anyone who plays, you know what I mean by that. But you know, where they're like trying to attack you a little bit. So I had to like, you know, dodge attacks from Mega Absol while my Lucario is getting some hits in, and then once I build up enough Mega Power or whatever it was called, then I'm able to Mega Evolve and, you know, land some bigger hits on the Mega Absol and have like a phase 2 and, you know, go through the whole battle of that. So quick little like 10-minute demo on each side, but a lot of fun. And cannot lie, I did just pre-order it today, so excited to pick it
Heck
up and
yeah.
play some more
You think
when
you
it
have to do
comes
the
out here in
4-person
October.
battle thing or whatever?
No, I mean, well, they only announced that like live at
Okay.
Pokemon,
Okay.
so
Mhm.
you didn't have a chance to do that. But it was a cool area. I mean, they had all these different stations set up, were moved pretty smoothly. You know, there was like one staff member kind of watching two of you. Um, now they're actually were like guiding a little bit. You know, I mean,
Sure.
I
Sure.
think the game software like wasn't restricted as much as it could have been, because they were very much like, hey, if you try to exit this area, then we'll like take the controller away from you and like stop your experience type of thing. Because it was like, it's like, oh, go here, like, oh, don't go in the elevator, we're not going there yet. It's like, oh yeah, you can go there, but don't go there, go here yet. So
Well,
the
if
part of
someone's
me that
like, "Don't go in the elevator," you're like, "I'm going in the
yeah, part of me
elevator."
is like, I want to like what's in the elevator, I want to see more of it, right? But also, you know, I don't want to get tackled by Big Pikachu, you know, and get, you know, banned from the event or anything. I don't think it'd be a big deal. But again, you know, but honestly, like fun time, cool that they had that experience. They also had like a whole big booth outside of a bunch of Nintendo Switch 2s where they just had like Mario Kart, and I think one of the Legend of Zelda games, just like demoing a whole bunch of different stuff. So there was like a big Nintendo presence there, which like we haven't seen at like previous worlds, which is cool. I think definitely like it being, you know, more mainland, right? As opposed to like Hawaii or like farther than like Japan makes it easier. And honestly, I'd expect something like pretty similar next year if there's like something new to demo, or we see like Nintendo of America like have a big showing here like they did, uh, you know, in San Francisco like they did in Anaheim.
Cool. All right, well, I think we can wrap up talking about Max's Worlds Round. We'll next get into the tournament results as top 8. Top 8 and winner Riley McKay. We'll talk about all those results in a second. Before we do, quick shout out to FCBC, some of the best sleeves in the game. I got my box right around here somewhere. My Blood Reds, always keep them handy. Max, they sponsored you at Worlds this year. I think you got to hang out with them some. Like,
Yeah, it was nice. I got to we had a little FCBC hang. I got to see Brian and the rest of the team there, so that was cool. I mean, and of course, you know, I've been telling you, I've been rocking the periwinkles.
the
That was the
periwinkles,
go-to for
bro.
Worlds, just like I
Day
said.
one.
I mean, and honestly, like they held up very well. Like, you know, corners are all fine. Like,
Same
honestly, I
sleeves,
can
they
play.
won day 2.
Yeah, same sleeves. I didn't even need to re-sleeve. And honestly, like these will still be good for like several locals, like before they need a swap. So,
Bro, you better
and
not bring him the cup on judging on Saturday. I'm gonna EQ you.
you would not dare DQ someone in
You're right.
FCBC
You're
sleeves that
right.
look as good as these.
You're right. I couldn't do it.
I'd be dishonorable as a judge.
Let's
But
get
shout out
into it.
FCBC for their support.
Yeah, for real. Thank you. All right, shout out to FCBC. Let's jump into this week's trivia question. Probably, I don't know how hard this one's gonna be. I say it's every week, but I feel like it's easy, but like, and then you don't get it sometimes. But as you guys prepare for this episode, you probably answered this question. So, according to Limitless, there is 6 archetypes that only had one deck in day 2 of Masters TCG. Name at least 5 of those decks.
Okay, so I do know that Walls is one of them. There
Yep.
was someone playing Walls.
Yep.
Don't know why or how, but shout out to them. And I'm sure other opponents didn't like them, but they made day 2, which is better than most people did. So, was there only one Armor box? I know there's one in a top 32, but I feel like there could have been
It
another.
was. I think that was the only one.
Okay, so we'll say that.
Personally.
I think
Yeah.
I know there was a couple like Charizard variants that like made it. I want to say maybe like Charizard Dusknoir, just like the Zard bombs. I think maybe one made day 2, and that's it.
Is that like listed separately? I don't know.
I'm pretty
Probably
sure like
is.
Charizard Dusknoir. If it's per limit, it's gonna be just different than Charizard Pidgeot. So yeah.
Okay, I'll rock with that.
I think there was a Slacking that lost the Winnanen tragically.
Wait, really?
And Eric don't even know the stats. This is new trivia question.
Yeah,
here.
whoa, yeah.
Well, it's not in
How many
day 2,
Slackings were
so it wasn't part of the question, so you're welcome for that hint. But I'm gonna go check this now.
Is the Joltik Gholdengo? Was there only one of those?
Yeah, honestly, that's probably. I mean, one did make top 16 in Masters, and of course,
Yeah,
one senior.
yeah, I
We'll
saw
talk about
that.
later. But I mean, that probably has to be the only Gholdengo Joltik. So would we?
Yeah.
Hey, Charizard, Dusknoir, Gholdengo Joltik, Walls, Armor Rouge box.
You're at 4.
Was Alex Shemansky the only Terra box?
That's I was gonna say that next, and then like the Blissey guy.
Oh yeah, Blissey. Yeah, so that's 5 or 6 right there.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
We have named 6 decks currently.
We have named 6 decks. I can confirm that those 6 are decks. Yeah, that sounds good to me. What do you think, Parker?
Yeah. Let's send it.
All right, so
We'll lock it in ±1 like we normally do.
You guys said Melodic, Ho-Oh Armor Rouge. You said Charizard Dusknoir was the bomb version. Gholdengo Joltik, Terra Box, and Blissey. Those are 6 decks you said? Those are the 6 decks that had one deck in day 2.
Let's go.
Congratulations. Yeah, good finish. Meanwhile, I'm poking around for Slacking, and we're gonna jump into this in a second, and I probably should just wait until that second, but I'm too excited. Did you guys see what Ross Caferone played?
Right on.
Well, he
I
played
actually-
Miraidon, like straight Miraidon.
Yeah.
Wait, Ross?
Yeah, he played 4
Ross
Carmine
Cawthon.
Miraidon.
Wait, what is it?
4 Carmine, 4 Research, 2 Boss at 5-3, 161st place.
4 catcher. 4 Pokemon
4
catcher.
catch.
4 catchers, 2 squawk,
Oh my god.
2 squawk and squeeze.
I love this. I mean, I get it. It makes sense, but holy moly. Anyways,
Bro was cooking. I love it.
yeah, so let's move on. Congratulations to trivia. You guys crushed it as you
Let's
always
go.
do. I'm always surprised when you get it, but then I'm not, because the question's kind of a layup, but you're welcome. Harder question coming next week. Did you go to trivia while you were out there, by the way?
I did, yeah. Again, friend of the pod,
Xander?
Xander Bennett hosting some trivia with Game Grid. Made out there. It was a nice time. I mean, I actually had a pretty good group turnout.
Did you win?
Did not win. Our group got 3rd.
That's pretty good.
It was funny. It was we were paired with my sister plus Etchy plus some other friends from speed running world.
Oh, you had
so it was
Etchy?
yeah. So we had a ton of video game knowledge, raw video game knowledge. But what
Heck
we didn't
yeah.
have is we didn't have any old head TCG knowledge. When it's so when it was oh, what 2015, what deck got second at Worlds in 2015? Where I'm we're guessing stuff,
Parker,
right?
what deck got World 2015 second?
2015.
This is your tryout for our trivia team when we go to Worlds.
Dang it.
Actually, it might have been Nats 2015, US Nats 2015. So whichever one
That's
is
2015. I think was Waterbox. Is that right?
I don't remember. We didn't get
Bro,
that right.
Come on, you have the right memory. Come on.
We didn't get it right.
Oh,
So 2015 US Nats was the famous Jason Klaczynski, Enrique Wailord matchup.
Oh, that's right.
Actually, I think we got that one. Actually, no, I think it was or the top 4 decks of that US Nats. So I got Seismitoad plus Wailord, and I didn't get Mega Man Extra Gardevoir and Bronzong Aegislash.
Right.
I don't even know what this deck does. Oh,
Well,
it has two Seismitoad in it. That makes sense.
All right, so moving on to our next topic, which is the Worlds Tournament results and all of our thoughts on the results. We'll run through these results. I know at this point you guys have probably listened to a couple of podcasts, and so we won't beat the horse too much. But we do got to give a full shout out to North America's Riley McKay, taking it down with Gardevoir. This is my pick to win Worlds, so I'm going to pat myself on the back here. Gardevoir
I picked
won.
Gardevoir to win Worlds. What a bold take! Oh, who could have ever expected Gardevoir to win?
Oh,
There's more tournaments
boy.
Gardevoir hasn't won than tournaments Gardevoir. Wait, there's more tournaments Gardevoir has won than hasn't won. Basically,
You're probably right on that, actually. Yeah. But yeah, looking at the top 8, we had Riley take down Justin Newdorf in finals in the Dragapult Dusknoir matchup. Historically unfavored for Justin. It kind of just played out that way in finals. Like, finals just kind of felt like Justin never really had anything going. Riley opened access to box both games and just kind of like popped off from there. You got Shizuki in third with Raging Bolt, Junya with Charizard Pidgeot, and Oyvind with Charizard Pidgeot. By the way, Oyvind's aura off the charts, bro. Did you guys see the clip of him beating Gabe Smart?
Oh, where
he was so bad.
he was like flipping over the for the energies.
For 7, he's hit a fire energy, pulls the fire energy, flashes it in Gabe's face for game. I'm like,
I did see that. Yeah,
I'm like, give him a break.
I mean, it was funny though, because like I don't want to. I'm not trying to make fun of anyone when I say this. So I'm just a disclaimer. But his accent, I just love his accent. It makes me smile so much, and the way he talks and how nonchalant he is and his aura. Because like on stream, like questions will be like, "Hey, how you feeling? Are you prepared for this? I play Charizard Pidgeot and I add Squawkabilly because I got destroyed yesterday and I want to be more consistent."
I don't know about that accent, bro, but well,
we'll take your word for it.
Yeah, he's just he had like deep, Finnish accent. I'm not good at accents, but it was fun because like that was the story of him adding Squawkabilly. Like he literally same as you, man. Like I got destroyed by my friends yesterday. I'm not consistent enough. I'll just have a Squawk. It'll be fine.
Yeah. We also played a Mesagoza.
The Mesagoza in the deck, by the way, is very good. Because you go like secret box for whatever item you need, and then like the Mesagoza can find you Pidgeot, and then Pidgeot can find you whatever the Pokemon you need. So if you have 0 Pokemon in hand, you don't have to get Ultra Ball off the box. You can go like get your candy that you need if you already had 1 candy. Like it's pretty good. Yeah. I've been playing it.
But then you flip tails.
Yeah, I was gonna say, or alternatively, Mesagoza doesn't get you anything, and you're
and then you go
sure.
Pass.
Yeah. But it's okay. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, right?
Yeah, no, it's a good
if you
card.
Have the aura, honestly, like if you're running hot, if you got like the aura with you, then like play Mesagoza. Like honestly, if you're like I can't miss today, just play Mesagoza.
Yeah, I mean, Max, just put Mesagoza on every one of your lists because it'll be fun.
It should be. Honestly, Mesagoza would have been much better than Artisan. Actually,
that's not true.
Actually, no, Artisan was pretty good. Yeah,
you've got Genesect to find literally everything else.
True.
Yeah,
I have found. I've been playing a list. I have used it to find Fez before in a pinch, and it was great. And if I didn't get that, I would have lost.
Oh, I must have ghosted for Luminion before plenty of time.
But also, like, I mean, like, there's never a world where you go secret box and like don't get your nest ball for Fez, and instead get Mesagoza.
There's no nest balls in the list. There's no nest balls in the list, buddy.
But like then you gotta have an Ultra Ball still, then, right?
Usually you don't have enough cards if you're boxing. But again, it's not like Mesagoza, it's just in play and you're like, okay, sick, Fez. Like
yeah, if it's in play, then yeah. It's just...
anyways, moving on for the rest of the results here. We saw Matus with the Mateus at the end. They said it multiple ways on stream, so I didn't know which one was right. So Mateus Zorag been running it for a very long time and got top 8 with that. Ended up losing to Charizard Pidgeot in the end. Piper Lapine with her Gholdengo Togekiss, the highest placed Gholdengo list, and unfortunate in game 3 of top 8 prized all 3 3 of her 4 gimme goals, and the opponent found boss KO gimme goal on turn 2, and it was pretty much over from there. And then we had another top 8 finisher, Marcos Fuentes, not to be confused with world champion Fuentes' brother from last
Fernando
year.
Cifuentes.
Fernando Cifuentes. So both brothers made top 8 at Worlds 2 years in a row. That's a pretty cool story.
Crazy.
And I think, did ASIM go? ASIM went all the way down to like
11.
11.
Yeah. When you go to the Limitless Labs, it ends at 11. So
yeah, so we had Landon Kettler, with Gholdengo make top cut, or ASIM Dago with Dragon Ball Dusknoir, and then Gholdengo with Ryoto Tanaka.
Dang, Japan killed it this year.
Yeah, no, Japan really was like killing it. Honestly, 4 players in ASIM, that's pretty good.
one thing with Ryota's list that I don't know if it's really true or not. I mean, I guess it has to be, but I'm skeptical. Is that I just didn't believe it. But there's 2 Brock scoutings in the list, which is like, I guess, Badu
Out to
protection.
get Genesect, yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
But no Turo seems questionable. But I guess you have the double picnic basket. I guess really not respecting any retreat lock. No way to stop. No way out of
there
retreat
wasn't
lock.
a lot of retreat lock at the tournament.
I mean, some Dragapult.
There were
Like the
some,
pure
but there
Pults
wasn't
were
a
running
lot.
but I don't.
That's fair. But I mean, Ryoto
We
with a
saw
great
the
run.
Sudowoodo, which we'll get to list in a little bit. Sudowoodo was like the favorite retreat locker this time.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Ryota, who lost the first round, ended up 2-1-2. 1-2 lost 2, or sorry, 1-2 tied 2, and then won 6 in a row to make top cut. So shout out for that. I think Landon Kaler also lost their first 2 and then won 9 in a row.
Landon went like crazy. I was watching Landon's run.
Oh, sorry. 2. Sorry. So went 2-2 and then 1 out from there.
Yeah, I was watching Landon's run like crazy. Because what a story to like win the first regional of the year. Pretty much not.
But yeah.
Wait, he didn't?
No, I had to reach out one.
Was it the second one?
Yeah, he won Sacramento.
Okay.
Which was like
win one of the
5th.
first regionals of the year early in the season, not play like half the season, and then like make it all the way that far in Worlds is like really good. So I was kind of watching it because of that. Brennan Karaman on the Crustle. But yeah, so let's just real quick, each of our opinions. Parker, you go first. What stood out to you about this ASIM cut, these top 11 decks and players? Any standout pieces you want to call out?
All right, so I'm definitely not a hater because I love the deck, but like I am still surprised there's 2 Enzoroarks up here. I know like people were putting it on there like, oh, it's a good play for Worlds on their tier list kind of thing, but I was like, the list that made cut, like how did they not just get like pummeled by Dango? I guess they just put the cornerstone, yeah.
Cornerstone and Toadscruel. That was really the
yeah.
I mean, Mateus only hit 1 Gholdengo.
Yeah, he only hit 1, and he did win. Yeah, and I'm just like, I don't know.
Question is, how do you only hit 1 Gholdengo player when there's 30% of the
room that too, actually.
Because we didn't even talk about the meta. We'll get to that in a second. But yeah, again, we talked about the retreat lock. Not many people having. He played the water pawn for the retreat lock, which is interesting to me. I don't know why it's on a 2 prizer when you can. I mean, I guess you just want more HP in some situations.
Yeah, I mean, Mateus did comment a little bit on this on Twitter, basically saying he preferred the Wellspring Ogre Pawn. Mainly for the bulkier HP is one thing, to like prevent it from like Dusknoir KO type of thing. But also it's big to not have an ability in play. Like didn't want to have the Maractus in play, for example, against like a Grimmsnarl. So opted for like the Wellspring for a little bit like more consistent retreat lock there. I'm with you too, Eric. I'm like, 2 prizes doesn't seem to make sense, but I guess in this application it works. But this is much more of a control like variant, right? I mean, there's 1 ends PP up, no ends castle, only Reshiram as the attacker. Like it's leaning more like the Cornerstone and double Turbo Energize, like power up Cornerstone or a Zoroark. I mean, kind of interesting list. So
yeah.
But I mean, Mateus is always cooking something, right? I mean, Mateus most recently known for their innovations with Bayonet Guardy and success with that. So again, really cool to just see Mateus, continuing to innovate on an archetype again, and show up with a big top 8.
Yeah, and the other one, Marcos Fuentes had the Toad Scroll in the deck for the Gholdengo matchup. So to your point, Parker, they were actively teching for Gholdengo. Did play the Janine Secret Art in this build with the Moji.
And the pet ship.
What's pretty cool because you can really hit 220 pretty easily. With that combo. So and you're hitting 220 with poison. So I think, right?
Well, you're not poison. I guess you're just hitting 210.
You hit 210 and then 220 from the poison. Yeah.
Well, there is no poison. They're not poisoned.
Yeah,
they're
not poison. Yeah.
Well,
you're poisoning yourself with Petrarunt or with Janine. And also, this is the same list that Gabriel Fernandez played as well to get second in seniors.
Oh, is this the same list that Gabriel Fernandez played? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Marcos Fuentes is working with Gabe and Vinny on this one.
Okay. Yeah. Unfair stance. That makes sense. Yeah. We did see, and we'll talk about seniors. We can just go ahead and kind of do that now since it's the same list. We saw Gabriel Fernandez make it all the way to finals in the seniors. And for those that don't know, Gabe Fernandez was one win away from literally the perfect season. He won both ICs. He won multiple regionals. He won all of his locals, won all of his cups, and got all of his points there. Would have literally been the perfect season. You couldn't get a singular more point if he won this match. Which again, they couldn't have got more points anyways because this is Worlds. There's no points. But still, pretty cool to see, honestly. But we did see some bad variants by Gabe, and what are your thoughts on Gabe's season and his finish here at Worlds?
I mean, it's like Tiger. It's like prime Tiger Woods. It's I don't know. Yeah, it's like I don't think it'll ever be done again. Honestly.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I mean, not something to be done again, and I think it really just showed that how strong Gabriel was as a competitor. I mean, really just kind of above. I mean, really, it's hard to have that much of a distinction from your peers, right? Even the Tords and Azules of the world, right? They do well in tournaments, but it's not like, oh, Tord won every single tournament he attended.
Right.
And it wasn't even close. I was like, well, no, it's like, okay, but Gabe did that, which is kind of unheard of. So again, Gabriel Fernandez is now a master, may now be showing up to a tournament near you. Maybe not too much near you, but probably an IC or potentially a couple regionals. Hopefully not a League Cup. But again, it's exciting to see. I'm very excited to see what he does.
I'm setting
as a
the
master.
over under on number of tournaments that Gabe wins this season at 3. Are you taking the? I'll take 3.5.
I'll smash the under.
Tournaments and master majors,
major events like ICs, regionals. He's probably gonna be traveling to more events. Gonna play him more.
I mean, I'm 100% not doubting his skill, but I mean, anyone winning 3 events is just like.
I mean, Henry Chow won 3.
I get it, Henry Chow.
You said the line at 3.5. You want him to have a better season than Henry Chow.
All right. Let's set the line on.
Does he win a major this season?
No. I think that's a lock.
You think that's a lock?
I think it's a lock.
It's so. I mean, it's hard to say anything's a lock.
Okay, well, I'll set the number at 1.5. 1.5. Over under. I'm going over.
Actually, I guess I could see him winning 1.
I think he for sure
Latin
wins
America
1.
regional.
I think the money line for winning 1 is literally minus 110. He's so favored to win 1.
I can see him winning 1.
Winning 2 is probably plus 250.
All right. Now is the start of our first year-long prediction.
Anyway,
you got tired of us not going back to predictions in previous episodes.
All right, so real quick, seriously, over under 1.5.
Under.
Okay, all right. I'm splashing. 1 year from now, we're gonna find. Actually, not 1 year from now. He's winning Pittsburgh, so it's fine.
He's got an Auto Worlds invite. You think he's going to Pittsburgh to play a Pokemon tournament with an auto invite?
Yes.
No shot he's going to Pittsburgh.
He'll be in Pittsburgh. Watch.
No.
He's so excited to compete as a master. There's no way he's not itching at the bit.
No, I mean, there's isn't there a tournament in
Monterey? He'll be in Monterey.
Yeah, actually, he'll probably.
Yeah, he's gonna win Monterey, bro.
All right, I'm registered. Let me stop Gabriel Fernandez to protect the prediction. No, I'm gonna cancel Monterey. So
you're going to Pittsburgh then.
yes, yeah.
Sick. Anyways, back to Masters standing. For me, what stands out, yeah, just the lack of the other decks, right? Like, I mean, even just like looking a little bit lower, like, where is Grimmsnarl? Where is Crustle? Where is like just straight Joltik box? Where
I
are
mean,
these other decks that like how we were told that we're gonna be decently good in the meta, and that this was gonna be a wise meta? Like where did they go? I mean, it feels like it was just the narrow 4 to 5 we talked about, and maybe now Zorak is like entered that conversation, but that's what stood out to me. Like, how are you guys feeling about like those other decks? I mean, I think the highest place in Grimstar was like what 34th or somewhere.
41st.
41st,
Aaron
Curry.
Shout out Aaron.
yeah. I mean, I I don't remember if I said it, but like I feel like Crustal's a good play for like a regional, not the World Championships. But like,
I mean, did we even have a
I don't
Crystal
know.
on day 2?
No.
I don't think so.
There's one that won 5-0 and then lost 3, I think.
Oh my
Sheesh.
god, dude. Oh yeah, that's right. Greg
Oh,
Nicky
it's Greg, yeah.
That's right.
I was he was 4-0
4-0
on stream. Yeah.
Lost to
Mm.
Oyvind, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, feel better for Greg. I mean, he had game in hand on stream.
He did. Yeah.
But did not, and then kind of lost out from there to eliminate the run. So unfortunate for that. Yeah, I mean, I think for we had 4 Spite Ops decks at the World Championships. What are we doing? What are we doing? How do we have more Spite Ops than Blissey?
Please tell me all 3 of these players are like playing the same list.
I mean,
I don't
they
think
gotta
it tells
be.
you on labs.
Wait,
but...
what? Oh, okay. That's right. That's right. Way too much to unpack here. We'll go back to Crispin's corner of this later. Sorry, there's way too much to unpack here. Like, what are we doing? I mean, the Cup Shoe is good, but this. And anyone who is listening on our audio platforms, there are 4 Spite Ops lists, and they're all unbelievably cooked. I recommend checking them out later because it'll make my mind explode if I have to talk about them. We're trying to understand what these decks are right now.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, back to like reaction again. I think the big thing, and when we look at top 8, right? Charizard showed up big. We were talking Charizard was a good play. We saw one in top 4, another one in top 8, and Zoroark being the 2 in top 8. I think is the big standout. We're not really surprised to see a Gholdengo, Bolt, Guardian, Raging Bolt in top 8 either. I think maybe we expected more of those, and less. If you're gonna say what deck would appear the most, I wouldn't pick Charizard or Zoroark. I'd probably pick a Guardy or Dragapult. We did see a second Dragapult in the ASIM, and 2 other Dangos lose in ASIM cut. Yeah, I think the big part here is just like some preference to what we played. Eric, go back to standings. We got to talk these out.
All right. Have a good time.
Oh yeah. There's all. It's that Labs is great. Just to be like poke around everything.
I love
Labs. Oh yeah. I think the big standout here is just I think it's really like came down to what decks the top players were playing, right? A lot of them when we go look at the meta shares, the top players were playing Gholdengo, Dragapult, and Gardevoir. Grimmsnarl was under 5% deck and totally fell off the graphic in day 2.
Yeah.
Raging Bolt did convert positively into day 2, but but still just saw like a lower number of plays. So I think when we said, what happened to things like Grimmsnarl, a lot of the top players, some that had played Grimmsnarl to NAIC, for example, a lot of them like switched to Gholdengo. Some of them, probably went to Guardy. Some went to Dragapult. Right there, there were bigger fish to fry. I think people did not feel very comfortable with the Grimmsnarl matchup into Gholdengo with all the healing tools that they had, and also like Grimmsnarl's mate and spread decks are maybe a little bit better into a less experienced player base. Sometimes at the World Championships, maybe it's a little bit harder to pull off some of those Debo and like spread shenanigans and like retreat lock stuff, and when more people were ready for it. Because honestly, like it had a pretty low play rate, and
less than 5% is pretty low.
Yeah, exactly, for a deck that we consider to be like that was a pretty much a main staple at
deck.
NIC.
Yeah.
Again, when we look at a lot of the top players, folks, Piper, who just top 8'd NAIC with Grimmsnarl, switched to Gholdengo, right? Karen Farah, big Grimmsnarl enjoyer. Azul, big Grimmsnarl enjoyer. Like, they all switched to Gholdengo type of thing. So a lot of people shifted off Grimmsnarl to other decks for the World Championships, it seemed.
Okay, so I mean, I agree. I think that we'll see what happens with these decks as other regionals pop up. But Grimstone is not going to go away. I don't think. Don't sleep on it too much. Well, it didn't do well here. Still is a good deck. Still probably has some innovation that can happen with it, and we'll see. What happens as we go to Monterey and Pittsburgh. But let's go ahead and move on. We talked about junior finals a little bit. We talked about Masters. Seniors finals, Masters. Gotta give a quick shout out to the juniors. Because for those that don't know, Japan came in and was able to take the
Jeez
whole thing down.
Louise. Yeah.
And look at all the Japan juniors that really just like dominated the top leaderboard here.
Dang.
We saw Raging Bolt take down Dragon Bolt Dustnor in the finals, and if you didn't watch it, it was a lot of like baby Raging Bolt, like boom, 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 every single
Oh yeah,
turn.
you just
So yeah, we saw that Raging Bolt in Japan, they're used to playing it. It's really good, and this the Yuya played it really well, and was able to get a win for Japan. I think that's a big talking point.
Definitely.
And then we got to give a quick shout out to the senior that actually did win seniors against Gabriel Fernandez. We didn't talk about it with the Gholdengo Joltik, but from mainland China, the first player ever to win Worlds from mainland China. And those who don't know, they're like 2 to 3 sets like behind us at least. And they're not, they can't really play TCG live and other things. So really cool to see, this Gholdengo Joltik take it down in the end, against
Crazy.
Gabe, even though really wanted Gabe to win, but there definitely was a matchup that it was going to be an uphill climb for him with, the opponent having a Cornerstone out. You couldn't just shove Cornerstone and say, hey, deal with it.
Yeah, I mean, and Gabe's just didn't play Cornerstone anyways, so that wasn't even viable. But just like, I think really trying to like set up the Toad Scroll, but like the Toad Scroll, if you have that in play, is now an Iron Hands
they
threat.
get Iron Hands. Yeah.
Right, so a bit of a tricky spot for him, anyways. But again, I think real quick, his list, Fuguan's list, was the Gholdengo Joltik, which is a list that we've heard a little bit of buzz about. I've seen his Wool stream at some. No one really took it seriously, but here it is. Probably getting a Worlds deck once those get printed. Here in 6 months or so. Gholdengo's at Worlds. This isn't the variant that anyone was really expecting, but this hybrid of Gholdengo plus Joltik box. You still play your 2 Joltik, 2 Iron Hands to go with a 4/3 Gholdengo line plus 2 Genesect to like really get set up. Playing Prime Catcher Boss. No Crispin, which we see in like a Joltik box typically, but you're playing a combination. You kind of go like Iron Hands early.
Iron Hands or Pikachu.
Yeah, you go power up an Iron Hands or Pikachu, and then your Pikachu discards the energy, or your Iron Hand gets KO because your opponent has to, and then the energy goes in the discard, and you just superior energy retrieval it from there. So you're kind of a cute inclusion. The Turo, not only a retreat lock out, but also like if your Iron Hands is 4 energy on it, it's just sitting there, you go Turo your Iron Hands, and then you could go, discard it all and get it back as superior energy retrieval.
There was one list we saw, and it was on stream. They played the penny instead of the Turo. And that was so good because you just put the energy right back in the hands, smack it right back down.
Exactly.
That was really cool to see. See them do. But yeah, that's kind of like our tournament. Overall, anything else you guys want to chat about before we talk about the top list that didn't make cut?
No. Shout out Gardevoir EX.
Yeah, I think you had to shout out Riley McKay, who kind of a little bit of a almost I guess not quite a Vance Kelly story, but someone who's just had consistent finishes. Obviously Riley had some success as a senior as well. And again had the big breakout. Everyone kind of knew his name after the big second place at NAIC, and then the next tournament after, proved, hey, I'm here for a reason, and won the whole world championship. So shout out Riley, shout out to Canada and all the great talent they have up there. Making North America look very good.
All right. Well, each of us were playing. We got time for one list. So, tell me which lists, Parker, that you are most excited about that didn't make cut, did not make ASEM cut. Which list would you like to review?
So I want to look at the Ho-Oh box, because that's a deck that I literally keep telling myself I want to build, but just haven't done it yet. It's just like I don't know, it just seems cool to me. And then ended up getting top 32. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Nathan Spry with the 32nd place with the Armor Rouge box. This is a big fan favorite deck, and I think any enjoyers are gonna be very happy to see the success of this deck.
Yeah,
Probably better
definitely.
support if you play the Carlin, but I guess you just want to go first. Did you want to set up Armorage?
Yeah, sure.
I don't know,
here
man.
using Armor Rouge and Ethan's EX to just flood the board with fire energy and power up Wellspring Ogerpon, Terrapagos, Durant, Chiyu, Clefairy. The cool inclusion of the Monkey Dory EX to combo with the Petarant.
Oh no, you don't.
I know
Yeah.
you don't.
Yeah, Monkey Dory, for anyone who doesn't know, has Dirty Headbutt, too dark and a colorless for 190. Really just an answer for Gardevoir, but you're shoving a 2-prizer into KO a Gardevoir. That doesn't ever work, but play the Petarant EX and Monkey Dory EX's Oh No You Don't ability. This one was knocked out from damage from an attack from your opponent's Pokemon. If you have any Petarant EX in play, take one less prize. So
That's funny.
slap a Legacy Energy on Monkey Dory EX.
Oh no.
Have
Zero
Petarant EX on the
prizer.
bench.
That's
0
crazy.
prizer knocking out Gardevoir EXs. That is a prize race you can win.
Listen,
only
we all
one boss,
know that
though.
Gardevoir is gonna go hit this for 180, and then next turn Monkey Dory to it. We all know that's what Gardevoir is doing.
You can't just walk. I mean, wait, if damage from an attack.
Yeah, we're always playing around that.
Well, the Nathan
Nah,
Gardevoirs. Let's check.
You can just use Drifloon for like
Nathan
3
played
energy.
one Gardevoir and it was Henry Chow and one on round 11.
Beat him?
So, yeah, you won.
All right, I mean
The
Nathan,
Chow
here we go.
man.
If you
There we
beat
go.
Chow, then maybe okay. This deck is favored into Gardevoir.
It's favored in the card.
Maybe it is.
All right, Maddox, what's your deck?
I'm just gonna go to 12th place list. So again, right on the outside looking in. But want to shout out Matt. Again, I actually had a chance to meet Matt at trivia. Fan of the pod. This cool guy. Had a one of the 700 pointers who got in type of thing. After there's kind of, hey, is everyone gonna make it in or not? So and he popped off an absolutely incredible run. And he actually included the Ethan's Pichu as a tech card, 30 damage for no energy and draw a card. He actually
Badoo and draw a card.
Yeah, I mean, he basically mentioned, hey, the time I had the hardest time is dealing with Badoo early, so he wanted one extra way to deal with it. So if you're playing against a Badoo deck, you just go and get this out and get a little bit of draw power, start taking some prizes, and like
That's
put the
so
pressure
funny.
on.
Well, I take the prize on that. Plus, that's hilarious.
And also the coolest thing is this does also count as a cornerstone out, because on stream or on the little side stream, he hit a cornerstone and was able to pull off the Ethan's Pichu with a max belt plus Dusknoir to hit 210 exactly on a cornerstone. So play
That's
your outs,
crazy.
everyone. Yeah,
That's crazy.
So shout out to Matt for just an awesome run. Super cool guy.
So
Glad to
good.
see him succeeding. And yeah, I mean, hey, a top 16 with Ethan's Pichu. Shout out all the Pichu enjoyers. I pulled one recently, and next Charizard deck I'll be building, definitely throwing in a Pichu in there.
That's
as
so
a
funny.
homage to Matt. So
Yeah,
super cool run. Excited to try this list out.
Yeah, I like it. Thanks for sharing it. That's a really, really cool inclusion, and congrats, Matt. 3 candy, a little scary, but other than that, solid list. Me, I'm gonna dip into one of the Gholdengo techs and come all the way down to 72nd place. John Ang, saw him on stream. Has Zacian EX in the deck to deal with Cornerstone, so I wasn't really worried about it. This is the one that they were waiting on for a long time. But the coolest combo in the deck is the Academy at Night, Redeemable Ticket, and 2 Chanseys. So for those that haven't read Redeemable Ticket says, shuffle your prizes, put them on the bottom of your deck, and then take that many cards and put them in your prizes. It doesn't say shuffle them, it just says put them there.
Yeah, from the top of your deck.
Yeah, from the top of your deck. So you Academy at Night, the Chansey on top of the deck, and then your Redeemable Ticket, put the Chansey where you need it to be, and then you take the Chansey and then you flip the coin. Is that better than Togekiss and just having it on board? I don't know. It's close. And it did come down to like it didn't lose him the game, but it could have won him the game a turn earlier on stream. When he was able to get the chance off the prize, like he had like a 1 out of 3. It was random chance, or 1 out of 2, and really, really cool hiss. This is my favorite Gholdengo tech that I saw all weekend.
Yeah, I mean the lucky bonus from 151 Chansey to take off the prize is put on your bench, flip a coin. If heads, you take a prize. Like a wacky combo. I remember talking with Caleb Rogerson, shout him out. I mean he had actually broken his leg, but was able, but still got cleared to go to Worlds and showed up. And then I was talking to him. I was like, "How things are going?" Like, "Yeah, things are going good. I'm flipping heads." I'm like, "Oh, I like continuous coin toss." He's like, "No, I'm playing Chansey from 151." I'm like, "Wait, what?" Like, so I'm like, "What are you playing redeemable ticket?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "What are you like? What?" So,
I had
and
to
you
like
can use, I mean,
read redeemable ticket to like realize like, oh my god, you can just put where you want.
yeah, I mean, you can use
Yeah.
the Cypher Maniacs to get your Chanseys on top of the deck and redeemable ticket over if
Put
there for big
your
prizes.
chances on top,
Like
dude.
I think this strategy is like a little silly. Like, does it scam
Right.
extra
That's
prizes? Yes. Is it better than Togekiss? I'm not sure.
Bro, we could take
Now,
a
is it
4 prize
funny? For
turn.
sure.
Take a 4 prize turn, bro.
But like,
Sorry for two
aren't you
chances.
aren't you
Take
better
it the
off with
two
like,
chances. And then
yeah, but
just
like, but aren't you better off just like trying to flip heads twice on like two separate Togekiss attacks?
no. Because I can win this turn instead of in 2 turns, and I save time on the time clock, which is
Well, like,
important.
do you have board space for this? Like for two Chanseys?
Absolutely.
I actually have the double Turo. Wait, you can go lucky bonus, Turo it
Turn
back up,
around.
redeemable, use your second redeemable ticket that you pawned from the discard and play.
whoa.
All right. Anyways, that's my funny. I do want to quick run through all the Gholdengo texts that we saw this weekend, just to kind of as a quick funny haha homage. We saw the Joltik Gholdengo. We saw the Gholdengo Ceruledge Briar, Gholdengo Chansey with a redeemable ticket, Piper with the Gholdengo Togekiss. We saw the Little Dengoer and Maddox played the Scizor, obviously, and Daniel Magda played the fan wrote him with the secret box, and then Isaiah Chevelle played the Dusknor. So, quick question, Maddox. You are now our Gholdengo expert on this podcast, even though Parker's also played it, but you were the world and got top 50, so you're our expert.
Yeah, absolutely.
What is the best tech out of that list? What is the best tech that you could play? Not like the funniest, the best.
The best, the most powerful, like best tech across the board probably just has to be the Togekiss if you're gonna go one of these routes. I spent time with these other list options, but if you're looking for one that says, "Hey, I don't need a single prize attacker. I just want a way to like reliably scam an extra prize when I need to 50% of the time," then I think Togekiss just does it with the least amount of extra effort. I mean, the Togekiss, part of a Bodie Robinson build that he had kind of, innovated with again. So shout out
So,
to Piper and the gang there.
so what you're saying is instead of Kissing Dragon, we should play Kissing Cheese Man.
Well, I mean, also, Togekiss has been around with Gholdengo before. Like, this isn't new.
I know, I know. It's
Kissing cheese, man.
it's just funny to me to make funny kissing names because I miss Kissing Dragon a lot. I miss that deck.
Kissing Dragon being Eric's Raging Bolt Togekiss creation.
It was so
Back
much
when
fun.
Pokestop was around.
Yeah, when Pokestop was good with Pokestop.
Rest
Okay,
in peace,
last topic
Pokestop.
for the day. We got the closing ceremony thoughts. So closing ceremony for those that didn't watch it. And this is I think where we're going with this segment real quick is Pokemon now like truly esports with the things that they are doing and the things that they did this year. Because I streamed day one and most of day two, not all of Top Cut, but noticeably, besides the lack of like, please give us some freaking side table games. You're already recording them. You have them there. Just like show them. Besides that fact, their quality is like they've stepped it up so much. And at closing ceremonies, they did 2 more songs, had a full orchestra. They were in the arena for the finals on Sunday. So they had all those things, and then closing ceremonies, they come in and talk about how like next year they're going to be in the Chase Center in San Francisco, and which if you don't know is like a big basketball arena. So that's where the finals are going to be next year. Yeah, I mean, so what are your thoughts? Are we got the XP convention that they showed, which is basically like those in like NFL. You can relate it to like the NFL Expo at Super Bowl, right? Super Bowl does this too, and it's a really good thing. Yeah, I mean, I was blown away with everything that happened, and yes, I wanted more TCG specific news, but like my takeaway was like, oh crap, Pokemon's esports now. What was your
Yeah.
takeaway? Like, what were your thoughts, Roger, after watching the closing ceremony?
Yeah. I mean, I was like, I saw like Necra, one of the announcers, was like tearing up after like the whole like musical part and everything. The things that were shown, they didn't show a whole ton, I guess, but it was really cool to see. We saw a big Charizard, Mega Charizard reveal. It's actually
Bro, that
good.
thing is gonna be crazy.
Yeah, it's actually good, which
Ethan
stinks.
Toho and Oricorio EX. You can do some crazy
Yeah,
stuff.
well, wowzers. Uh, but yeah, no, it's cool. The stage was like insane. I've seen like so many like Twitter posts about it, like from all the people in other games. Like, wow, our game sucks. Like,
Oh, the whole like
like
Pokemon Yu-Gi-Oh thing was so funny.
Yeah, I
yeah, I
mean,
mean
yeah,
that
being able to
always
like, I
happens.
mean, just and I didn't actually get to see the arena because we were at capacity before I could get in. But basically, like being able to go and see, oh, we have all the different cards and like the arena and like the stadium updating and like I think even for VGC when I told like here's all the Pokemon they can like choose from. I think like so many like cool pieces there, and I'm just excited to see like what they do with a bigger and like better arena in the future.
Yeah,
So it is Pokemon esports now.
I mean I think it already was, but
All right,
yeah,
that's good. Max, what are your thoughts?
I
Where's
mean,
Pokemon
it kind of
heading?
already was. I
Yeah.
mean, to Marcus' point, there's teams and there's streaming circuit. I think the biggest piece for me from closing ceremony was, Pokemon leaning a little bit more into, this future, which we kind of like saw telegraphed a little bit around like Pokemon XP, and like it being like a larger like convention type of thing. With the World Championships before, a kind of a niche event, mainly like for the competitors saying, "Hey, reach this threshold," like, and then get into a spot. Oh, well, now we want to try to, be able to predict how many people we'll have as competitors and be able to like make more space for the rest. Because again, like at the World Championships, there were like three halls that was like the exhibition area. One of them was like dedicated for competitive space. One of the halls was like side events and vendors, and the other hall was like all like other programming and museums and other experiences. Right? You go to like NAIC, like in New Orleans. I mean, in like two of the halls are like just TCG Masters, basically. So I mean, like the scale that like is kind of being prepared for, like when you don't have to commit so much space to tables to play on, then you actually have more space for all of the kind of other exciting like fan pieces. And I think like this Pokemon XP is really trying to shift that direction of saying, hey, Pokemon Worlds, right, that there isn't a Pokemon hosted convention to go to and a place for Pokemon. Here's an invitation to make this that place. And we're also going to host the best of the best at the World Championships. Um, so I think that's the kind of the future we're heading towards, building a bigger and larger like Pokemon convention, where the Pokemon Worlds is like an event hosted there. And I think some of the changes here with some of the pricing and like adding the arena experiences like an actual add-on will like be like better for crowd control and capacity.
yeah.
Because we've been to some of the past worlds in like Hawaii and Japan, and it's like man, there's so many people there that it's like hard to do the side events, hard to like enjoy some of that stuff. So if we
Even
want to
this year,
lean in
people were like complaining about side events.
exactly, yes. I mean,
Yeah.
so if we want it to be, we if we want more of like we need more infrastructure and like more space and more setup and more things for people to do. So that way it's not just, oh, I go to the worlds to, play the side events and wait in line for side events. It's, there's so many panels and craft creation zones and museums and activities and other things to do. And I want to see like even more of that. So, you can go to the convention and have a full fledged like convention
Yeah.
experience at the
Yeah.
World Championships. If you're not there competing, you can go and hey, I can go check out some of the competition, watch my favorite game. Oh, I can go and do all these panels. I can go and do this thing. I can go and go to the play lab and not have to wait in a massive line because they're giving away a pin that everyone wants. Some like I mean, like some of that experience, like I want to see it like be better to be
Even like spreading
like
the people out.
yeah, just like spread the people out, give them more things to do. Just that way, you're spending more time like enjoying Pokemon instead of
Yeah.
waiting in
Yeah.
lines to enjoy Pokemon.
Yeah, for me, like it kind of like hit back to like when we were in Japan. Like when we were in Japan, I felt like Pokemon XP was happening, right? Because like all around the city, there was so much Pokemon stuff going on. There was like the
Oh
boat,
yeah.
the boat that the little pirate boat that was in
SSAN, yeah.
and then well, no, that's not in the SSAN. There was like the pirate boat that had like all the stuff in the little grassy
Yeah.
area near the event, and then they had the SSAN, and then they had like Pokemon throughout the cities and like little things you can go and take pictures
This
with, and
was playing at the on the big screen at
yeah,
Shibuya and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
playing at the
Yeah.
big screen everywhere. So, I think that's kind of what they're trying to go for is like create that kind of experience. But I don't know. We'll see what happens, and I'm really excited for it. I do kind of wish that they might have like leaked the location for Worlds the year after, because I do think it's kind of nice knowing 2 years.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have to be like that, but like it's nice, right? It just kind of will, because next season, if you look at the next season, if we don't find out until Worlds, right, we're gonna have a whole month of like competitive play before Worlds as far as cups and challenges, and it's like, okay, well, I would like to know if I really want to go hard this season, like kind of in my head before that, and because if it's like a location like Australia, like I'm like, okay, babe, like we're full sending it again because it's Australia, let's go have fun, right? But if it's like Detroit, I'm like,
Yeah, let's go.
so,
I want it in Detroit. Just kidding.
but it leads me to my last question that I didn't tell you guys I was gonna ask. I'm gonna ask this question and we'll be done. Margaret, you first. What continent will Worlds 2027 be on?
Prediction.
Prediction.
I think it'll be on North America.
Maddox, same question.
Yeah, I think with announcing Pokemon XP, they want to keep this XP going. They're looking for convention centers that are good locations, easy for people to get to, easy for Pokemon International and reps and everyone to get to. So definitely North America.
Really? You think
Yeah.
you're gonna do North America 4 years in a row?
I mean, well, they only did North America
before
in the
Japan.
United
It was
States for-
only
They only did North America kind of forever before London.
Oh wait, before
so-
Japan?
or London.
Yeah, London.
Before
Okay.
London. Yeah,
Okay.
before
And
London.
it's
It was
it's only been out of North America twice.
Only twice. Obviously, I don't know the full history. Okay, so I'm gonna go.
Well,
you
asked the question. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna go on a limb and I'm gonna say it's Europe. All right, it's gonna be somewhere in Europe. 4 years of it in America after doing Japan and then London previously. Like, I think people will be itching to kind of like do something else.
Chicago.
That'd be cool for sure. Yeah, and I think it's we definitely had a luxury of like knowing that San Francisco was leaked for a while, so we've like known for it. But I guess we've also been in a world where Worlds we've only known a year out. But now with Pokemon XP, maybe there will be more of that like further things out. Right? Would we even know around like NAIC or like earlier to give people a whole like year and a half to prepare for a trip,
right?
And
to
go for the next con type of thing, as opposed to that. Or honestly, unpopular opinion, but like if San Francisco works out, it might just be in San Francisco for a couple of years.
Ugh.
Yeah.
But if they got the Chase Center, if they figure out the things, if they figure out the specifics, it's on the West Coast, it's near Seattle, it's near Japan. Like
I understand the logistics you're talking about, but I don't like it.
I mean, I'm not a huge fan of it either, but I mean, it is a possibility.
I could see it.
Yeah.
Kind of like just like how in London it's been at the Excel Center for forever, and then NEIC it's been in New Orleans forever. So,
big convention center, Orlando, bring it to Florida in the summer in August.
They would never.
It was in Orlando one year.
Worlds?
Like 2005.
Yeah. But then like it was far
like a hotel?
Yes, it was in a hotel. So.
Yeah. Hey, but I mean Orange County Convention Center, man, that place is
the place is lit for sure.
We don't have an arena close enough by though. I don't even know how far the Chase Center is from the convention center.
I looked and it was like 10 minutes, like a 10-minute walk.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, which is good. It's far enough away where it's like not connected, but then close enough where if you want to go, you can go.
Yeah, Anaheim was cool because like the arena is like literally connected to the convention center. That was like a cool piece.
Yeah.
But I didn't really think about it until I was like walking away from the convention center and the arena, and ran into Zach Coney's like, I'm gonna head to the arena, try to get in. And it was like, oh, is there a rush? Like
trying to get in.
Go going on. He's like, oh, I mean, there's like capacity's only like 7,500. Like, it won't be able to fit everyone. I was like, it'll be fine, right? It was not fine.
It was not fine.
Not fine.
Not fine. But that's gonna do it for this week's episode of the Beach Court Podcast. We'll be back next week, talk more Pokemon action and our thoughts and where the meta's going, and based off of the results from Japan. Sorry, Japan. I wish from Worlds. So we'll be back next week. But until that time, we'll see you around.
Thanks for the support, y'all.
See ya.